This is day 60, episode 28 of my modular journey. And today we're going to be talking about the 2HP Verb. This is a stereo reverb effect unit. It has stereo in, so you got two inputs, left and right, and it has two outputs. The top knob here is for time, like how long the reverb is, and the second knob here is for damping, and then the third knob here is for the mix, whether it's wet dry. I guess it's wet dry. So that's what this CV does, is actually it's wet dry. So yeah, this is it. It's pretty deep. It's pretty deep, so of course you have to have a nice deep rack to get this into. And this power connector threw me, because this is the first one I ever saw with just one set of pins. I think you can see that, one set of pins. I was like, well, how the hell does this plug in? I got two sets of pins. So I just guessed, and it seemed to work. So we're going to do that right now. Let's get it in the rack. All right, the 2HP Verb is mounted. It's in the rack here next to my disting, between disting and data. Let's power this guy up. 2HP is so tiny, it has no lights, no whistles, no bells, nothing. So we'll just watch the spectrograph. I've got volt per octave from the keyboard, or the controller. I've got left and right going into two cinnamons. I got coming out of two cinnamons to the VCA, which is CV'd to the gate of the keyboard. And then I've got the audio out to Verb. And now we have to just come out of Verb to the mixer. All right. One more test. And now I'm going to turn up the mix. Time is all the way down. But you hear the reverb, right? Now, the only real issue, I think I'm never going to buy another 2HP because I have these big sausage fingers. And it's really hard, especially if this was mounted near other things. Like, I think I used to have it over here next to ST Mix, and I literally, with the wires plugged in there, I could not get in here and turn these knobs at all. So unless these 2HP things are in a box all by themselves with no wires around them, I don't know that I'm going to be able to use it too effectively. But I could always set it to what I want and then never touch it, right? I guess I could play my favorite sequence. Let's hit that. So you see, I turn the time up. Now it's a pretty big room, right? If I turn down damping, it takes some of the harsh away. Let's just kick in the chainsaws to make this sound lovely. So why did I choose it? I chose it because it's pretty cheap. It was about 129 bucks used. So as a reverb, it probably does the job. Yep, right. It does the job as a reverb. So I can't say too much more about it because it is tiny, it is inexpensive, and it has one purpose, and that's to do reverb. So for what it does and its job perfect. I think it'll be great in an effects rack, because honestly the Monsoon has great reverb too, and so does the disting. It has this disting has just got amazing sounds in it. But this was just one more place where if I needed one more reverb, I could use this tiny thing. And it does the job, like I say. I mean, I'm not super impressed with it, but that's because look at all the rest of the stuff I bought. All this super multifunctional stuff, and this really is just like a one-trick pony. So nothing against 2HP Verb, because it does sound great. It does sound great, so there's that. All right, so that's it for the for episode 28, the 2HP Verb. Coming up next is the end of my modular journey, or at least so far, for Rack 1, and where we're going to talk about the WMD Steady State Fate Ultra Random Analog. So stay tuned for that.